Co-Intelligence, Living and Working with AI by Ethan Mollick is a deeply thoughtful and accessible guide to navigating a world increasingly shaped by artificial intelligence. Rather than focusing purely on the technical dimensions of AI, the book explores how humans and intelligent machines can collaborate, co-create, and coexist meaningfully. It is equal parts practical manual, philosophical inquiry, and cultural commentary, offering readers a way to think about AI not just as a tool, but as a new kind of partner in thought and action. The book opens with a foundational idea, that AI is not a replacement for human intelligence but a powerful complement to it. This is the essence of co-intelligence. Mollick introduces AI as a kind of reasoning engine that can enhance our abilities across domains, from writing and coding to brainstorming and strategizing. What makes this moment unprecedented, he argues, is the accessibility of these systems. You don't need a PhD to work with AI now. You just need curiosity, intent, and a willingness to experiment. Early chapters walk readers through what large language models like GPT really are, how they work, what they're good at, and where they fall short. But instead of getting bogged down in equations or architecture, Mollick uses metaphors and stories to show how these systems behave. He describes AI as a universal intern, eager, fast, occasionally wrong, but capable of surprising brilliance when given the right prompt. This framing becomes central to the book's thesis: AI is a collaborator whose strengths emerge through interaction. Mollick draws from his own research and classroom experiments to show how AI can transform learning, creativity, and productivity. He shares anecdotes of students using AI to accelerate their ideas, professionals using it to refine their work, and artists discovering new forms of expression. These stories are never framed as gimmicks. They are evidence of a shift in how knowledge and output are being generated, not just faster, but differently, and often more inventively. What makes co-intelligence compelling is its relentless focus on practice. The book offers hands-on advice for working with AI day to day. Mollick explains how to write effective prompts, how to evaluate AI outputs, and how to iterate toward better results. He treats AI as a process, not a product, something you improve with over time through trial, feedback, and careful use. He also encourages readers to explore multiple AIs, not just stick to one, highlighting the subtle differences between models and the value of diversity in digital thinking partners. The book is not uncritical. Mollick spends significant time exploring the limitations and risks of AI, particularly in its current generative form. He highlights issues of hallucination, bias, and overconfidence, traits that can make AI both misleading and dangerously persuasive. But instead of using these flaws as a reason to reject AI, he frames them as manageable realities, quirks of a system that is incredibly useful when guided by informed, attentive humans. Mollick repeatedly returns to the idea that co-intelligence isn't about blind faith in machines. It's about developing judgment. He suggests that humans need to become better at working with ambiguity, cross-checking results, and building a feedback loop between our intuition and the machine's output. In this sense, co-intelligence becomes a guide not only to using AI but to becoming a smarter, more reflective user of information. An especially rich section of the book looks at creativity. Mollick pushes back on the idea that AI can't be creative, showing how these systems can generate fresh ideas, remix styles, and even challenge human assumptions. But he emphasizes that the creative process changes in this partnership. Humans become curators, directors, editors, shaping and refining what AI produces. The act of creation becomes more iterative, more fluid, and more dialogical. The workplace is another major focus. Mollick discusses how AI is already being used to automate tasks, draft reports, write code, and conduct analyses. But instead of portraying this as a path to job loss, he sees a shift in the nature of work. Roles are being redefined. Skills like prompt engineering, system design, and critical thinking are becoming central. Workers who understand how to augment their abilities with AI will not just survive but thrive, he argues. Education is treated with equal care. Mollick calls for a rethinking of how we teach in an AI-saturated world. He questions traditional assessments, champions creativity and critical thinking, and urges educators to embrace AI as a learning partner rather than a threat. His examples, from AI-generated essays to coding help, show that when students learn how to use AI responsibly, they become more empowered and curious, not less. The book also deals with larger societal and philosophical implications. Mollick reflects on what it means to live in a world where intelligence is no longer exclusively human. He considers questions of authorship, responsibility, and authenticity. If an AI helps you write a story, who really wrote it? If an AI helps make a decision, who's accountable for the outcome? These are not abstract puzzles, they are daily realities we must begin to grapple with. While co-intelligence steers clear of sensationalism, it does not ignore the bigger AI questions. Mollick talks about the risks of misinformation, the possibility of runaway systems, and the geopolitical race to dominate AI development. But he consistently returns to the user, the individual making decisions with the help of machines. He believes that human agency, properly equipped and ethically oriented, can guide the future of AI in a more humane direction. The tone of the book is warm, clear, and grounded. Mollick writes as a teacher and fellow learner, not a techno-evangelist. His goal is to empower, not overwhelm. Each chapter reads like a conversation with someone who understands the stakes, respects the complexity, and wants to help you navigate this new terrain with intelligence and intention. In the final chapters, co-intelligence offers a hopeful vision of the future, not one dominated by machines, but shaped by partnerships between humans and AI. It imagines a world where we use these tools not just to do more, but to do better, to write with more clarity, think with more rigor, and create with more daring. It's a vision grounded in humility, collaboration, and continuous learning. Ultimately, the book is not about AI as a technology. It's about AI as a relationship. And like any relationship, success depends on communication, understanding, and mutual respect. Mollick invites readers to become not just users of AI, but co-thinkers, people who engage with machines as mirrors, mentors, and sparring partners in the ongoing project of human knowledge. Co-intelligence is a guidebook for that journey,